Okay, thanks for returning. So here we are in Mexico. We are the proud owners of this beautiful small hotel, Terramaya. And one of our first hurdles was that it soon became very obvious to us that we spoke no Spanish and our staff spoke no English. So the first hurdle was to set about learning Spanish, at least enough to communicate. But I have to say that when you're immersed in a culture and you're immersed with a language that is not yours, it's a little lonely because you're not really around people 24/7 that speak your language. So I was trying to find some sort of outlet, some sort of group maybe online that I could occupy some of my time anyway during the day in my own language. And I was dreaming like you wouldn't believe and having visions and dreams that were just incredible. So I thought, maybe it would be a good idea to seek out a dream group. You know, people that were as serious and as conscientious about their dreams as I was. And I found this group that I just absolutely loved. And I became a member of this dream group. So I interacted on this website every day, sometimes for hours a day, in the early morning hours and in the evening hours. And it was really, really, really neat. We worked in concert with one another on specific topics and so forth, and really tried to all get on the same page on certain subjects. And then it was really just a place for me to post my dreams and get feedback and then give feedback for other people's dreams. So I really enjoyed this group immensely, especially since it was the first year that we were in Mexico. Toward the end of the year, one of the long-standing members of this group and founders of this group asked me if I would incubate a dream on behalf of a friend of his who was having some problems. And I've got to back up here a little bit because I forgot to tell you that I got this idea in my head about having a tattoo put on my face. I know that sounds kind of weird, maybe not to some of you, but I mean, I'm 54 years old, grandmother. And I just got this idea in my head that I really wanted to mark myself in some way to claim my identity. And this was important to me. And I talked it over with my husband, and I told him that I thought I wanted a little tiny spiral right above my eyebrow, that I just felt like I wanted to have a marking on my body that would mark me, mark myself, that I could claim this as my identity. And as strange as it may seem to many of you, I really thought this was a great idea. The only thing my husband said to me was, I don't have any objection to this, but just think about it. Think about it a long time before you actually do it, because that's kind of a permanent thing. So anyway, with that little background information, I'll come back to this incubating the dream for this person that was part of this dream group on behalf of a friend of his who was having some problems, some issues in his life here. So I went and I agreed. I said, well, I've never done this before. This is totally new territory for me, but I will go to bed tonight and I will put my focus to this and see whatever comes up, and I'll pass it along. So we left it at that. So that night I went to bed and I wasn't particularly tired, so I meditated first, and I asked my guides if they would help me with this incubating this dream on behalf of this other person. And I slipped into that place where I have visions. It's different from a dream state. I'm aware that I'm in my bed, meditating, but I slip into this place where I have these experiences. Anyway, I slipped into this place, and suddenly I'm in like a dental chair, and these beings are around me. And this one being, it seemed like this being had sort of a feminine energy. And she said to me, Kim, would you like us to implant a dream guidance system in you? This would greatly help you in your work that you endeavor to do. And I said, you mean this could help me with this dream that I'm that I want to incubate on behalf of this other person? And they said, yes, this could help you greatly in your work. And I said, well, I think that sounds like a good idea. And they said, okay. And then they said, slowly turn your head to the left, please. And so as I was turning my head, this little thing went through my head, and I was thinking as I was turning my head, oh, this is how they do it. And I guess when I came out of this vision, I felt like this is how they do it meant this is how they're able to work with us, but we don't have total recall of exactly how they do this stuff. And that's just kind of an aside. I just thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, I went then to sleep, and the next morning when I woke up, I had vivid memory of these 4 dreams that I had on behalf of this other person. Now, I wrote all this down, and I emailed it to this friend of his and said, okay, this is what I got. Well, the feedback that I got later was that this had everything to do with these issues in this person's life. This person I had never talked to, never met. I only asked his name. That's all I asked for when I incubated the dreams for him. So the feedback I got was very positive. And from what I understood later on, the information that I gave to this person through this friend of his was very helpful for him to begin to heal some of these issues. So I was really happy about that. Now here's the really cool thing. When I woke up from this dream and I went in the bathroom to shower and, comb my hair and, get ready for work, I looked in the mirror and I had this marking right here. It wasn't above my eyebrow, but I had this marking right up here by my hairline, right about an inch below my hairline. I had this marking on my forehead, and at first it looked exactly like a spiral, like somebody had taken a fine ink pen and just drawn this spiral. But upon closer examination, when I put my glasses on, and I even got a magnifying glass out, that's how little it was. It was like a circle, and then a circle inside of a circle, and then another tiny, tiny, tiny circle inside of the smaller of the circles. I had this. It looked just like a tattoo. I had this on my forehead for months until it began to fade. And it just faded and faded and faded, and I don't have any evidence of it anymore. But I did have recall about that vision that I had when they asked me if I would like to have this dream guidance system implanted. So I went ahead and I did that, and I felt fairly confident, very confident, that this was where they implanted the dream guidance system right here on my forehead. Now, this dream guidance system has assisted me in other ways in years to come. So I'll share that with you later. Thanks for watching.